Welcome, viewing several once again to my little series I like to call Hands Up, Who Loves a Train Set? Me. This is, I think, episode 46, so you know, we've done quite a lot of episodes. So today I'm going to be looking at this, which is a Triang Hornby Intercity Express set. Now, this set was introduced in 1966, so it's 60 years old. This set has been reproduced recently in Hornby's Triang Railways Remembered kind of range. So we'll talk a bit about that as well, and whether I'm going to get one of those. I think what I'll do is I'll wait to see if any second-hand ones come up, and then I might get one if I see one for a good price. So you've got a nice big box. You've got this box art, which is quite nice, and this model is obviously the English Electric Cocoa or Type 3. Later on would have been called the Type 37, Class 37, sorry. But when this set came out, that was pre-tops, so they were still known as the English Electric Cocoa or English Electric Type 3. And the model itself was the locos were built from 1960 to 64, and these models, this one came out in 1966, and this tooling, although it had different motors, so the original one in this set has got the old Triang Type 2 bogie, I think it's called, bogie motor that you get in all the sets from this time. But later on it would have been fitted with a ring-filled motor, and this tooling lasted well into it, like over 40 years. So a bit like the locos themselves, a long life. I think in the railroad range now, Hornby have replaced this with the ex-Lima tooling, which they bought, you know, about 20 odd years ago and introduced in 2008. So I think the railroad ones of these now are the old Lima tooling. I'll probably do a video on Class 37s at some point, because I've got this one, I've got some Lima ones, I've got some modern Hornby railroad ones with sound and everything fitted, so it might be interesting to do a comparison on those at some point. But today this is just about this particular train set. With all that said, let's have a look inside. Here we are inside the box. So this is quite a big box compared to the other sets that appear on. I'll show the catalogue page where this appears, and I've got most of the sets on that page now. So this, I think I bought this from like a model railway shop online, and it did say, well, you get two Ruth carriages. But when I looked at the Triang website, and also the Hornby Collector site, because it's on there as well, the original set did come with 2 Ruth carriages and a car 79. Now I've got some of these coaches with different names on. I mean, they're all the same, but they have there are different ones. So I've got a few others as well. Now these ones are what they call the 9-inch Pullman coach, and they are not quite to scale because they're a little bit short, but that's good for me because they go around this first radius loop, so I don't mind that. The later Pullman coaches will be a bit longer. You'll notice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 windows, and the later ones have got 7 windows, and they're a bit longer. So there's a whole I've got an article that I found. There's a kind of little booklet that somebody's written on the history of Hornby and Triang Pullman coaches, and it lists all the ones they've got. So these were the early ones, the short ones. Yeah, so, and you get a loop of Super 4 track, which we've seen before. We know all about it. We like Super 4. It's very robust. It's very stable when you put it together. It's quite coarse. The rails are quite deep, but not really to scale. But you know, it doesn't really matter. I quite like this track. Now, the Locomotive, let's have a little look at this, shall we? So, as I say, this one was advertised as having magnet adhesion. So you can see what that is. It's just got a magnetic so that it sticks to the track. Whether that's a good idea or not, I don't know. But, you know, it says Triang on it, but I've got a feeling that by the time this model came out, they would have already been trying Hornby. But, you know, this one has got this Type 2 motor bogie. So I'm going to open it up, and I've already done that, but I'll show that. We'll show inside it. So yeah, it's which makes it very top heavy, but it doesn't really matter. Got one buffer missing, but oh, it looks like I haven't put that quite back properly there, but never mind, I can sort that out later. But yeah, I mean, this is a very crude model by today's standards, but at the time this would have been a relatively new loco in real life, so yeah, pretty good, I think. So there we go. So in the new Hornby set that replicates this, I will talk about that in the next section. We'll have a look at the catalogues next. Right, so this catalogue is the 1966 Triang Hornby catalogue, and if we turn to the train sets, I think they're here. We go. So this page is the train sets. Now there's a picture of this in the latest Hornby catalogue, and I mentioned it in one of my previous videos. So you can see at the top here we've got this Intercity Express set, first class Pullman brake, second car, large oval of track with uncoupler. Now I haven't got the uncoupler in this set, but it doesn't matter. I've got so much of this Super 4 track anyway that I'm going to be building a massive Super 4 layout at some point in my shed. I've also got this, the Midlander set, and I've briefly covered this one in an early episode, and I probably need to do it again, do it properly. This one, I recently reviewed this set. I've got this one, the blue Pullman. Don't have this one, but other than that, I've got everything on this page. If we turn over, you've got the good sets. Now, I haven't got any of these. This one, the Freight Master's quite nice, and I've been keeping my eye out for one of these. These are the ones you don't see very often, so yeah, let's just go and see if it's got anything on the, here we go. So R751 Coco English Electric Type 3 Diesel Electric Locomotive. So as I say, before it was classified as Class 37. So what we'll do now is just have a look at the new, brand new 2026 Hornby Catalogue Entry. Here we are, look. So you can see that is that catalogue I just showed you, 1966. There we are, and that's the page, and this is the modern version of the set. Now it looks like, let's have a look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 windows. Yeah, I mean, are these the old ones? It's difficult to tell. You can see that that compares to the length of this. Let's just have a look. Let's just have a look inside there. Is that a, yeah, you can see these are shorter compared to the length of that. So these ones you get now are going to be modern tooling ones that are the proper length, and also this this loco is going to be the railroad one, which is the ex-Lima tooling, which was from 1986, so it's 20 years younger. But this 1966 tooling was improved with a ring-filled motor later on, and it ran, you know, well into the, I think, 2008 or something before they replaced it with the Lima one. So one of the longest running toolings, although there are other ones which have gone for a long time. And sometimes people, you know, complain and say Hornby have got the old toolings, but you know, they have made quite a few improvements. The paintwork was improved, and you know, things like that. So anyway, so this is the modern interpretation of it, and you can see it doesn't say Trying Railways Remembered. This is Trying Hornby Remembered, which obviously was after 1965 it became Trying Hornby. So yeah, this set, as I say, this set looks quite nice. It says here, we've talked about this before, first starter, radius starter oval, which it should be if it's going to be in keeping with this vintage set, but it shows here this being third radius. So it'd be interesting to know what actually you do get in there. As I say, they're not very consistent. If it is first radius, and it probably isn't, because these ones they recommend won't go round first radius, but actually they will. You can see when we run this that this first radius is a bit small for this loco, even the old one, but it runs okay, and I couldn't run it anywhere other than this desk at the moment because that's all I've got space for. So you know, if I see one of these second hand and it is first radius, I might get one. But there we are. So let's have a look inside the locomotive now. So the first run as it comes, we'll see how we go. I mean, it is a runner. Better in that direction. So yeah, this is going to be a runner. I think what we'll do is we'll do the usual thing. We're not going to give it a full service. I think we'll just oil the bearings, clean the wheels and contacts, maybe oil and grease the gears, and clean the commutator, and we'll come back and see how much better that makes it. So I've decided I don't really want to take it all to bits now. I think maybe later it could be dismantled and completely cleaned, but I think it's running well enough now. So on this controller, these things pick up about 40%. I'm probably going to use an older H&M controller when I do run it on the layout. And that way. Full speed. Down to about there. So I think there's little to be gained from all the extra work of completely dismantling this motor. This is an old Type 2, and this will run fine on Super 4 track with an H&M controller. So I think that's all I'm going to do on this, and we'll put it back together. So this is the first time I've actually seen one of these in this condition. You'll notice it's got a little note there to say, don't remove the screw, lift and slide the spring clip, which is something I discovered the way to do the first time I did one of these. I didn't know that, and I did unscrew it, but I had to unscrew it all anyway because I was taking the whole thing to bits. But in this case, I'm not doing that. So that little note, I've never seen one of those before. They're obviously on there. It come detached, so I've just sticked it back on, and yeah, we'll put the lid on. Right, so we've just quickly got this on a bit of track. and that's it, running. Seems to run okay. This is with a H&M clipper, so probably period correct kind of controller for it. And I'm using the track from the set and a power clip, a standard one of these. I don't think I've got a clip with the set, but I've got plenty of these anyway. So I think it's time to set the whole set up, and you can see there's all this filth that I've been removing from places. So that's kind of track, and I've given the track, it's a bit rusty, so I give it a clean with this Pico rubber. Seems alright. So comes up. I mean, this Super 4 track is, I like it. I think it's very robust, and you can, you know, it's nice and coarse scale. It's ideal for these. These are what they're designed to run on it. So we're going to set it up now. Right. You know, I've been trying to play with the lighting, but this is going to have to do, I'm afraid. We're on the track, and let's go. So we start off slow. It's not going to be a great crawler because it's a 60-year-old locomotive. I've given it a basic service, but it could probably do with a thorough clean. So I'm running it on this H&M clipper. Now it's quite a tight radius this, but this is the track that you get in the set. This is what you get, so we'll just go to full tilt. Come back down. Now it won't come off at full tilt because of this Super 4 track is very coarse. So the other thing that this engine has got is magnetraction, magnetization I think they call it. So yeah, it's magnetically stuck to the track as well. So you can go, you should be able to go fast like that without worrying. But it is very coarse rail as well. So yeah, that's not bad, is it? So there we go. Just come to a stop. It will go backwards, no problem as well. We'll just bring it back round. So yeah, that's quite nice, I think. I don't seem to be able to, whatever I do, get the lighting to go very well. I think that's because you probably need to spend money on lights to, you know, to make them really good. But this is good enough. So yeah, this is quite a nice set. I do like it. Didn't need too much work to get it running. It was in fairly good condition. So they've just reissued this one in a modern version. I'm probably not going to pay the RRP for one of those, but I might pick one up second hand if I see one, because it'd be nice to have one of each and compare them. So I think that there'll be some differences in the carriages and also the loco, but I'll talk about those when I talk about the contents of the set. So what we'll do now is we'll set up some running shots, and yeah.